And welcome back, everybody, to the Swain Batty League. We are in week 3, and we're about to enter game 3 of the night here. I'm 30, being your play-by-play pastor tonight. And joining me in the booth, I think the first time this season, is Thor in Sasquatch. How you guys doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. How about
I know.
yourself?
Living the dream.
I mean, it's always a dream in the Swain Batty League. So in game 3 here, we got Tilted Forward on the blue side and Muffin Men on the purple side. Tilted Forward still looking for their first win of the season here. Muffin Men already securing their first win last week against my team, which our name is Danked by Mom. We're just waiting on, I believe, the 5th player for one of these teams here. For Muffin Men, it appears. But first off, initial impressions, Thor over Sasquatch. Who do you before we even see the draft? Who do you feel it has more to gain from this game?
Well, I mean, you're looking for a big confidence boost, picking up your first win. You also are playing against a diamondless. Your diamond superstars missing for a week, so you're kind of looking to catch them on the back foot and take your first win of the season. So I think Tilted Forward has all the momentum going into this one.
I would also agree that Tilted Forward is bringing, or should have, a lot of momentum going in this game. I know Dubdrum and Thrifty have been really itching to get that first W on the board, and I would like to actually see a lot more out of Renai's circulation in the top lane this week. I feel like this is going to be one of his easier, well, it could be an easier matchup for him, and
you think playing against Purple is an easier matchup?
I think it can be easy if he plays it right.
I mean, he still has a lot to prove, right? He's one of the sort of the big name players that hasn't really shown up this season so far. And granted, he did switch roles. It is tough to do that, but he seems comfortable up there. But it just seems to be down to execution.
Yeah, I mean, there are games though we've seen him on Scion that he hasn't looked top form either. You kind of think of Renai circulation on Scion. Kind of, it's not a GG play, but it's kind of one of those you really think that should have more impact. And I think was it last week? He really didn't show up on it. So
yeah,
I'd really, if he does get on Scion, I'd really like to see him show up on it and really carry his team.
Yeah, I agree.
Looking over at Muffin Men, it's going to be a huge game for Wang to step out and prove himself against Thrifty. Him and Hellerick, I believe, will have to really step up and bring some light to their team for this game, because missing Camera is going to be huge. Purple said.
Yeah, and I mean, if they were actually to win this game and know that this team really isn't all just one big Camera show, I think that'd be obviously a big boost for their confidence going into the latter half of the season and into playoffs, right? So Wang, he could be that second carry. You can funnel gold into him, and he can still do what Cameron can do, but maybe slightly less.
The 30. Yeah, question for you then: do you think Wang has shown up this season? I think his first. I know we're only 2 weeks in, but the first week he definitely didn't show up. Second week, it's getting better. Do you think this week he's going to be top form, or where do you see Wang sitting in this kind of high tier, low tier?
Maybe he has a big enough champ pool, I think, that where he can get a pretty. I mean, they have their purple side, so they actually might counterpick him or get him to counterpick here. But I agree. I mean, he has been steadily getting better.
He has been branching out of his.
I don't know if he's the mid laner though to be the superstar carry, right? Thrifty Senpai is that. He is the guy that plays the Ari with the Ignite. He's the guy that's actually going to carry your team. Wang, he plays the lane very well. He's a very adept mid laner, but he's also a great team player. And I don't know if that's going to be enough though without their superstar Camera.
He played the Kennen week 1. And what did I keep something in my mind? What did he play last week?
He played.
I believe he played Ari with teleport.
Okay.
No, that would have been my team. We played Ari teleport. Okay. He played.
Like slipping my memory now what they played last week.
I'm gonna go check it out.
But like, do you think he's gonna play something more team fight oriented, or you think he's gonna try to go back on what he's? Because last season he was very much a solo carry, quote unquote. So
yeah,
might be the week where we see Wang get his Star Dragon. And
Maybe.
You think so?
I feel like into Thrifty Senpai, Thrifty's got enough confidence to be like, nah, leave that up. You know, we've seen Thrifty Senpai do that in the past with leaving Thor his Azir or Nice Circulation his Vel'Koz in past season. So maybe he's like, no, we don't need to ban the Aurelion Soul. Let him have it.
I think that'd be a very grave mistake. And also, so I found out he played Zillion last week, so he even played someone even more team oriented. You know, that is a support role really. So yeah, this if he were to actually come out and play something that's not Zillion or Kennen, he would have at least the effort to try to carry the game. So yeah, it's taken a while here to get. We're missing purple CLG. Yeah, we're gonna find CLG. Swain Battle League find CLG $1,000 for this delay.
Fine by me.
We can start paying for our Wizard Tower now.
Yeah, that's just standard. Yeah, the Wizard Tower. Huh. So wait,
yeah, because
Cameron's
already missing. And this is their backup player. Well, not say backup player, but they are utilizing their sub player.
User joined your channel.
Hey guys, I'm muted on stream, right?
No. You're on stream.
Hey guys, what's up?
A surprise Swift coming out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Could we mute the stream for a second?
Oh, yeah, you want to cut the audio?
And we're back, guys.
Yep.
And now it looks like we have Camera in the game.
Purple died confirmed on stream.
Yeah, so officially Muffin Man on the purple side, they'll lose one ban here, their last ban, for delay a game. Obviously, purple was the intended player, not showing up today, but they were able to get Camer somehow. So now Camer's playing the game, and all the analysis we had earlier about if Wayne can carry without Camer is null and void. Camer's in here, so it's just the Camer show now, right?
Purple's officially made us look like idiots. Appreciate that.
And yes, I would agree that it's now the Camera show.
Oh, it's definitely bot lane. Yeah, definitely bot lane centric.
I mean, looking at Tilted Forward, Madam Stripe and Kishot Underling have not had the best performance for their team. And Camera, we know, is supposed to be the outright carry for Muffin Men. So it's going to be really interesting to see how both teams work around that knowledge.
And here's something we haven't talked about. Seeing as how Purple is now missing, we have Isona carry in Helric, or in Camera bot lane, I would assume. Is Helric jungling? We have Devout going top? Or how do you guys see this playing out now? Because there is no true top laner on that team without Purple.
Helric put himself at a high number for top lane.
Did he? Okay.
Oh, I actually thought he might be jungling, because
I thought he was a jungle main as well.
Yeah, when I did the scoping work on him, he plays a lot of jungle in solo queue. So I would just assume that, and Melk has played top in the... Well, he's always only jungled in SBL officially, I believe. I don't know if he's ever played top in SBL, but I think he knows how to play it.
Tilted Forward must know something we don't because of the Vi ban. It's actually... I don't know who the jungle is on that team, so I don't know who that's targeted against.
Vi is just a really strong jungle pick right now. It's a relatively easy pick too. Melk has been playing it. Yeah, so I mean, Rek'Sai got nerfed, which was sort of Melk's mainstay. He still has that pocket Lee Sin that he might pull out in this game, which would be actually pretty fun to see. But first pick overall, it's going to be the Braum for Tilted Forward. Very safe first pick. Really awesome first pick, honestly.
Wayne going...
I mean, is Braum 2-0 tonight for picks, I believe?
Yeah.
He's just an incredibly strong champion right now.
Alright, you gentlemen are going to have to tell me what's getting picked, because right now I can't see anything.
Yes. So
Tilted Forward... Oh, go ahead, 30.
Yeah, they picked a Braum, first pick overall, and then Muffin Men A answered with their first rotation of Zac and Zillion. So it looks like Zillion once again for Wang in the mid lane. It's being answered though by Tilted Forward with a lock-in on Skarner and a lock-in on Lissandra now, which could be flexed to either top or mid, because Renai Circulation has definitely played it in the past. It's a good flex pick nowadays too. So
yeah, it is.
I'm interested in these bans on Muffin Man's side, those double bans on Thrifty, the Karthus Zyra bans, and of course the Twitch ban against Camera, because he's been playing really, really well on that champion.
Yeah, you have to wonder what their third plan ban was, because they didn't get it this game. But yeah, Karthus Zyra are always so consistent with playing against Thrifty.
Definitely could have been Skarner and losing that ban, because I mean Dub Dub lives and dies by that champion, so
that's true. Yeah.
Alright, so I just did some research. Helric did put an 8 at top lane.
Okay.
So, I feel like it's going to be him in the top lane. I do like the Zillion pick again for Wang. He did show pretty good knowledge on that champion last week. And it's a comfortable pick for him, obviously.
Yeah, and it worked. Their comp last week was actually pretty baller, because they had their hyper carry in Twitch. But I guess it didn't really matter, because no one was actually able to get to him, because they had this beefy engaged front line of Malphite in their jungler. I forget who it was, but Isona carried locked in Morgana and Camera going back to Ezreal.
This is not going to be a Vel'Koz lock-in. They're missing an AD carry. It's actually interesting though. We have a Lissandra top coming out. The
Cast top.
Or Cast top.
Yeah.
Sorry. Does Blab play Cast?
I don't think so.
Not that I'm aware of.
Thrifty does. Oh yeah, so this is definitely Cast.
Alright, I do also like seeing Camera on that Ezreal. He does play it well. It's just it's not very heavy damage early.
Fiora.
Yeah, it definitely there's some ramp up time that he needs to get to. Week 1, I know he actually lost on the Ezreal, but I thought he played pretty spectacularly on it.
And I remember
did
playing
everything he could. So.
I played against it week 1, and he definitely knows what he's doing. You can tell his mechanics are good on the champion.
Yeah.
But
also,
that game
I want
we
to
just happened to
point out that Purple Pickle Pie is now speaking in Twitch chat, so we can confirm he is a sandbagger.
Oh wow, man! If they lose this game because of their last ban they didn't get, they're gonna shit on Purple. Ostracized from the team house. But last pick overall, Helric locking in Fiora. So yeah, you're right, Thor. This is Helric going top with Fiora, which we haven't seen in a while. It's actually a champion that hasn't really been in the top lane meta, but I hear she has some favorable matchups against some of the meta top laners, most notably Echo. But Echo's not in this. It actually is going to be a Fiora versus Lissandra top lane matchup. How do you guys read into that?
It must be a pocket pick. It's got to be a Helric pocket pick. I mean, nobody saw this. The teams aren't built around having a Fiora, you know?
Right.
It has to be a pocket pick, I do agree. And it's a skill matchup early. And once it hits level 6, because it all depends on when Helric uses his riposte. Because you can riposte Lissandra Alt and W, and timing that will be key on winning that top lane matchup.
Riposting Lissandra Alt seems like something that would kill me out of League of Legends permanently.
I've had my... As a dirty Malzahar player now, I've been riposted trying to Malzahar ult. It kind of sucks.
Wow. Yeah, it seems like a pretty volatile matchup, like you said. It really could swing either way, and it might be up to these junglers to try to sway those. Dubdrum usually has a top side preferential ganking pattern. It usually doesn't gank for the bottom lane, especially on someone like Skarner. A lot of easier time coming in from behind on the top, or even just coming in from the side on mid lane and maybe flash ulting. But he has 2 good carries, 2 basically AP, like big AP threats that he can snowball on the top side.
This isn't a style we've seen out of Tilted Forward before. I find this interesting. This double mage, this mid and top lane mage, and then double tank coming out of the support in the jungle. We haven't seen this style out of them yet. I wonder if this is something that they're going to be playing more of, because you know they're haven't won yet, and they're playing a triple tank style. It makes you think if because they put Blab in top on Sion. Almost exclusively, and so it's like you think if maybe they're thinking we got to remove like one of the tanks out of one of the lanes and get some more damage, and maybe that helps them win team fights, and it kind of makes you wonder if that's a style they're adapting here in this game and seeing if this carries over into next week,
Right. I think that's a good adaptation because they do have such a strong trio up there on the top side, and Dubdrum, he, in my opinion, is one of the best ganking junglers in the league. He has a very high emphasis on ganking. And what's better than ganking and getting your 2 biggest damage threats, at least in the early to mid game, big?
This is probably one of the best adaptations they can make because it gives Renai Circulation a little bit more comfort, not on those tank champions such as Gnar. And I know Sion's one of his comfort picks, but it's still a little bit different playing at top instead of mid. So now we're putting him on a control mage that is something that he used to play in the mid lane. That should be a little bit easier for him to work around in that top lane.
Yeah, and tell you, let's give some analysis over to Muffin Man here because this game I think is gonna be tough for them. Honestly.
I love their comp. Truthfully, I think.
You mean you love their lack of comp?
I truthfully like you have this. You claim to have this diamond AD carry who you say he's just gonna carry the game. Like that's basically you've put your entire faith in this AD carry, and then you pick a Morgana with a black shield against a double CC mage and a Skarner, and then you also pick a Zillion who has a reviving ult and slows and speed ups and double bomb zone stun. I personally think it's a very, and then Zach who disrupts the backline. It's like you have this mix of skirmishing team fight and then this kiting, like back kiting Ezreal Peel comp, and it's not really a comp. I agree. It's a lot of, it's a kind of mixture of both. But if you have this faith in this AD carry, and you pick Zillion Morgana, I think you're saying he's going to carry the game, and we're going to put him in a position to do so.
Yeah, they're really trying to put all their eggs in
The camera basket.
Either camera or even if Elric goes off on Fiora, they can put their eggs in that basket. The only pick that I really don't think fits is that Zac. It's a champion that really wants to go in.
But so is Fiora. I mean, you have two champions that really want to go in and kill the backline.
Well, not initially. Zac goes in first, Fiora in second. But
Well,
to go off so last week, I thought the Zilean pick and the Morg pick into Cameron's Twitch was fantastic, right? Twitch has a lack of mobility, and he needs all that protection, and he's a hyper carry. This week, it's really the Hellrick show. Cameron is actually just going to be the steady mid to late game scaling damage threat, but really, I think this is all about the Hellrick, like the Fiora pick. I think Melk might actually just set up a tent up here, get this Fiora really big, and snowball it from there. Like, get him really big so he gets the push, and then you have a pretty good sieging 4 out of the rest of them.
But you can see it going the other way. Like, the Fiora dives in, gets ulted by Skarner, dragged away to her death. You know, it can go both ways. You know, you can see it going really well or going really poorly.
It's going to be a really snowballing game here for Muffin Men. If they get ahead, it's going to be really hard to take it away from them.
Yeah, and that happened last week when the Twitch got really big and they still had, engaged threat where you still couldn't get to that backline. It was pretty much over from there.
Agreed.
I'm excited. The one pick we haven't really talked about before we really get into the action is Mapstripe on Misfortune, and that's a champion that's actually not being played at all, pretty much anywhere, to my knowledge. And she might be coming back. She got a buff this patch 6.18. Her auto attacks, like her passive or something, used to do 50% to towers, but now it does 100%. And the meta right now is so focused on trying to get that first pick gold and rotating around the map and forcing numbers advantages. I think this is really good. I really love the MF pick here.
I really like that with the two kind of zone control mages. If Blab goes in and gets a good self ult and the slow on top of the Misfortune ult, like if they layer their ults nicely or kind of where they're fighting, zone the team to one side and drop the MF ult on top of it, I think these team fights can go really well for them. Big points gonna have to be just protecting her. If she dies, I think they lose a good chunk of their damage.
Yeah, no, I think the Misfortune is a great pick for just overall team fighting, because Stripe hasn't been able to contribute the most in his team fights, being a little bit unprotected when trying to auto-attack in fights. So this gives him a giant ult that he can sit back at distance to shoot at people and deal quite a bit of damage.
Yeah. Pretty standard stuff across the board, but not really, actually. Muffin Men, this is a very odd start for Develop Milk on this Zac. He's actually just going to take red buff by himself solo here, and they're going to take the Gromp for the bot lane.
I mean, that doesn't surprise me. They want to just feed as much into camera as they can. Starting the Gromp, I don't know how much they've practiced taking Gromp. If they do it right, it's not going to be too bad. But if they take too much damage,
that much damage.
It looks like
they did a pretty okay job. Yeah, I know the problem with a lot of people is they just don't practice it. Cameron probably has enough experience to know what to do. So.
Oh, damn.
Oh, that's
that's hyphy.
That is super hyphy, yeah.
Bit of a hell train.
But you saw him do that. You saw him do that in week 1 too.
Yeah.
That other bounce does a lot of damage.
Yeah. There's like 2 schools of Ezreal players. Ones who say that Arcane and the ones who use it for damage. A little bit of trading going on here in the mid lane, but Thrifty, he's going hard. Wang actually uses the Ignite to try to deter him, but it's not going to be enough. So Ignite is down now for Wang on the Zilean.
Wonder if that was a panic Ignite.
Yeah, it seemed like it was. Maybe Wang thought that was going to devolve into a full all-in and Thrifty's going to flash it or something. But I think that's still going to give an advantage over Thrifty. Milk paying an early visit though. He's in that side bush. Not able to find it. He's going to be spotted out, and Dubdrum's going to meet him here in the river. He's really low. He's going to get taken out most likely. Red buff's taking double buffs for Dubdrum here, and he's going to keep going.
Be really big to get Devout Milk's passive already, but it looks like it's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
I don't know what he had a little back step there when he was chasing. I think he could have had him if he hadn't done that.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was second guessing himself or
misclick or something.
Yeah, maybe something. I think he'd have had him.
Yeah, I think he could even safely flash for him because Zilean without the Ignite now, and as long as Thrifty came up and tried to trade with them. Oh man,
We're
Hellrig.
seeing a big trade out of Hellrig on nice circulation in the top lane. So far, Wang's doing a pretty good job at staying in even there with Thrifty. That flash? Hello?
Milk fab fingering the flash. I don't know what that was all about, but he's gonna go in. Elastic slingshot onto Dubdrum, but there's no one from either team backing him up on that one. So
that was a milk play.
Yeah. Hey man, we've all been there. We've all fast fingered ability, and it just sucks when it's the F key. Yeah.
I have no room to talk about it. I did it today.
Oh.
He's Zach. He doesn't need flash.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully. let's see if that pans out.
You think this is gonna be a trend we're gonna see in the top lane? Just constant pushing from Blab into tower. I think he's gonna get punished. And I mean, he should get punished for it. Truthfully.
He should.
He has knowledge though. Dubdrum had the knowledge that Zach had to back, and then that he knew Milk actually started red side because he didn't have blue, so he knew that he was gonna go blue side. So I think this is actually either really smart or really dumb.
Dubdrum's one of those players who does really keep heavy focus on where the enemy jungler is. He can call out almost 90% of the time where the enemy jungler is sitting on the map. He is very focused on what they're doing while he's jungling himself.
So yeah, I guess if with that knowledge that he most likely had, that was probably the play to do, right? Like Lissandra just pushes into tower, Hellrick has to try to last it under tower, expend mana, and he has an early back then because of it.
And it's a really good thing too for Renai circulation, because it's very easy for him to push in that wave and just pick up a bunch of CS and then back off, where you really don't want to expend all that mana as Fiora to get it.
Milk paying a visit to the bottom side now. He's staying on the ward.
Hanging out on the ward, you know?
Yeah.
I would really like to see Devout Milk head to this top lane, you know?
Yeah, I thought in the draft that's probably where he said no, but maybe just because of jungle pathing right now, it seemed easier to go to the bottom side. It's not to say that it's bad to try to snowball your Ezreal, your camera Ezreal. It's probably really good too. But Mel,
oh, this could be big.
Here we go.
The enemy race here. Not gonna hit onto Thrifty.
Oh,
He's not going to Wang, but the double man all from Thrifty. He has Ghost. He's going in on Wang.
Oh, Wang gets the first blood. Wow.
Going
what a
over
nice try.
Wang.
That was close.
You gotta admire the turnaround.
I gotta give Thrifty for some props, because that was...
Yes.
He almost had it.
Lesser players would have just flashed and walked the tower. Thrifty saw the outplay potential and tried for it.
Oh, you got Hellrick going in here.
Yeah, and Renai circulation with the self ult.
I like the self ult.
Self walking out of the slow zone. Oh, Renai has the flash out. Yeah. Damn. So this game is going real slow. Heated up in the mid and top lane real quick, and
I mean, you gotta respect what Hellrick knows about this champion, because he managed to force the self ult out of Renai circulation, and also forced the flash after the fact as well, even though he healed from like less than a quarter HP all the way back almost up to over half.
Yeah.
So there's definitely some merit to that all in.
This is a dangerous game though for both teams to just farm out in the middle of the game and just get to late game, because both teams have late game potential against each other.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, it's
like, you don't want the Diamond ADC being 6-item Ezreal late game, just kiting you around all game. But you also don't want to see 6-item Cassiopeia running you down either.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how much that gank in the mid lane's actually going to deter Thrifty from just still winning this lane. Because like, he's still even in CS. He had an alright back getting that tier in an M-tone.
Knowing Thrifty, it's not going to deter him much. He's not really afraid of stepping up and still trying to kill someone after getting killed. So he will play cautious until he's got some summoners back up.
I would really like to see Milk hit this top lane now. You have no ult, no flash, no TP Lissandra.
Being pinged out.
I would really, yeah, there you go. The ping's going down. I'd really want to see him make this play now. I think this would give Hellrick a huge advantage. There's no wards for Renai circulation. Looks he's going to base.
Back right now.
Yeah. So he's wanted to push it in top lane and then base.
Yeah.
I do like that Dub and Thrifty were moving over to the Rift Herald just in case, but it looks like they're just picking up the blue buff instead. Devout Milk sneaking into the top lane. I wonder how long he's gonna just wait there to see Renai circulation.
Yeah. This is bad. That's not a very efficient use of time in the top lane. He could get in Krugs right now. He could be getting that Rift Scuttler that just got taken by Dub Drum. You know he just backs. And if they were timing teleport, they knew that was down as well, so they knew he was gonna walk back into lane.
I mean,
But
Lissandra
he's
has
sticking
ult again.
Yeah.
He can
and-
stall enough for Dub to make it up there if they do pull off this gank.
Oh,
I mean, I don't
But
think
the
they're gonna
counter
blow her
gank,
up.
though.
Oh
Yeah, it's
yeah.
gonna be a 2v2 here in the top lane.
Yeah, and they're going in. Renai circulation. He uses the claw to go in, but he's gonna get knocked up by Develop Milk, and now he's bounced around here. Helric trying to lay down the damage, trying to get the last hit, but it's actually gonna go over to Develop Milk. But now Helric, he's stunned up. Dubjo's gonna take off that kill. So it's a 1-for-1 trade right now, and it's a juggler battle, and nothing happens after that.
Oh, that was close. If Helric would have gotten 1 or 2 procs off there, that could have been dangerous.
Yeah, and actually both junglers picking up those kills. The top laner's only getting assists.
Wang was close to making it up there before that fight was over. If he had made it up there, that could have been completely different.
Yeah, sped up and at the very last second ulted.
Yeah, right.
Helric. That would have been huge, actually.
Yeah, it would have. I mean, that would have completely turned it around.
That's what we would call a tilt, right there, if that would have happened.
Yeah, because then you got another person on assist gold. Helric probably gets the kill then. So you
Walks
are getting
away
even bigger.
alive.
Yeah. Camera with a nice sidestep on the Winter Spite. Black Shield comes in just in case, and now they're trading on the match.
Oh.
Ooh, that binding would have been huge, but it actually doesn't matter. The Morgul was channeled. The initial damage comes through, but Madam Stripe with
Wow.
the stylish turnaround MF ult picks up the kill on the camera on
Good
the backside. Now,
job, Kid
Binding's
Shot
down on
and
ISO to
Matt.
carry. I don't think she
No
can be-
flash on Morgana.
Oh yeah, and Dub Jump's here. He recognizes it and he backs off.
What a nice 2v2 in the turnaround.
Oh, that's something. That's a boost of confidence for your team if you're top 4.
Yeah,
your
that was
Madam Stripe,
huge.
Kiss that underlane lane just got a kill on camera. Yeah, now the CS lead is actually coming back, evening out in Madam Stripe's favor. Dragon picked up by tilted forward there. They had they had camera down and they Sona Carry had it back there, so good use of recalls there.
That Cloud Drake is so scary on Skarner.
Yeah.
That is such a.
It's scary on
Gets,
most of these members on Tilted Forward. You don't want a fast Lissandra running you down. And
Oh.
there's the kill.
The solo kill.
Ooh, that did Helric try to recall there?
No, he was pushed up too far and took too much
Yeah.
harass, and then Renai circulation just eat and caught up with him.
Yeah. Well, good lethal recognition really out of circulation. He is like, what are you doing? You're disrespecting my damage right now, and sees the opportunity, gets a kill for himself, and the CS lead was already in his favor, so this might be the tipping point for this Lissandra for Renai circulation here. He's got the Rod of Ages completed now. Teleport
I don't-
is up.
I'd really like to see Helric pick up a Hex Drinker before he picked up this Vam Scepter. I think that would have really helped him in the lane,
Yeah.
especially against
I
the double
agree.
mage comp.
Yeah, it's all about surviving the lane.
Man,
Like,
Madam
you can,
Stripe
you can wait on
man,
the Ravenous
bounces.
Hydra.
Another half HP trade right there for free.
I don't respect
yeah.
that bounce Q.
Yeah.
Right now, it's just a 100 gold lead for Tilted Forward, so it's pretty negligible to say the least. It's pretty much an even game at this point. Dragons, though, in favor of Tilted Forward, and just a kill. But no towers taken yet. No one rotating over
goodness.
for first bricks yet.
This is a different bot lane we're seeing out of Tilted Forward. They've really stepped it up with the pressure.
Mm-hmm. Kisak gets binded up. Not going to be enough, though. Cameron gets
the
the arcade
exhaust.
chips very early, very defensively there. Recognizing how low he might be. And Wang's going
Another
in, but it
gank
was
on the
all
mid
just a
lane,
fake.
but
Elk
Wang
actually
is
jumped over the wall, but Thrifty
Oh
with
my
the
goodness.
turnaround double ult again, but this time picks up the kill on the way out.
Looks like Stripe dropped his ult in the bot lane as well. Didn't pick up anything, but dropped both of them really low.
Yeah.
You know, we saw almost an identical gank to the gank we saw just then, and almost the exact same thing happened, but this time Thrifty just turning around and saying, no, not today. Just stuffs Wang.
I feel like that's a lack of respect for what Cassiopeia can do, you know? She has an ulti that, if you're looking at her, stuns you in place, and she can drop a ton of damage while you're sitting there doing nothing.
Dubdrum, he is really behind enemy lines right here. He meets Hellrick in the bush, but I think he realized that he needs to get out here. But actually,
no,
goes back in onto Hellrick.
That was some real
disrespect.
They're going to pick up an early kill into Hellrick. Milk and Wang, though, are here to try to pick up the lost pieces. Lab's super low, and he is able to walk out. Same with Dubdrum. So actually, they're just going to pick up the kill and get out.
Hellrick fighting with very, very little vision there. I mean, you should have seen Lissandra walking out of the lane. It's ulted. Very little respect for the Skarner ult there.
Yeah, and I mean, they can really chain CC really well on this team. Like, even just once the team fights start, a Braum passive that actually gets proc means you're probably dead.
Yeah, Muffin Men is in a pretty dangerous position right now. I know they're only down 2k, but your Fiora is 0-3, and their top lane is just getting stronger. This is getting dangerous.
Yeah, and
all the
the
while,
camera basket's not online yet.
well, there's been very little focus on the spot lane. I don't think we've seen a single jungler down here once. Besides, both of them, both of the junglers have spent some time in River Brush. You know,
Your wish is your command.
walks right over a ward though.
But
and now they have the knowledge here. Thrifty going in on the way.
Oh my goodness!
But gets deterred by a tower in place. Oh,
good
good block
good
there.
shot.
MFL comes out, camera gets real low, and now
Oh, there's a
don't
TP
get
coming in from
involved.
Lissandra.
he channeled in the back. Dubdum now goes in. Camera's
Camera's all on
very
his
bad
own.
spot. Thrifty picking up the kill on the
No.
Wang, and down goes Camera. So 2-0 right now for Tilted Forward.
Flash from Devout Milk.
Great
And surely
teleport
this will
from
be
Renai
first break.
Circulation.
That was a really good teleport ward they had down, and that must have been called because you saw that ward. We were talking about it when Zach walked into the lane, and all of a sudden it was starting to make a huge impact with the TP from Renai Circulation.
You gotta imagine Tilted Forwards feeling pretty good about themselves right about now.
Yeah, and they're looking really good. This is a totally different team from the first 2 weeks. They're very proactive. Renai Circulation, he has definitely stepped up. We talked about it in the pregame, but he is playing very, very well right now. Very good teleport channel there. And they might have even had a time. That might have just been a very low risk play there because they knew Hellrick teleport was down. He's behind. He doesn't offer a lot in the match teleport. Not only do they get more kills for their bottom lane, but they get first brick on top of it, leading into a 4K gold lead.
And the nice thing is they got the first brick on the bot lane, and that really opens up that dragon area. Mid turret doesn't do that as much. When you take the bot turret, it opens that entire bot side of the map there for potential plays and team fights that can turn into a free dragon. And with dragon up in 15 seconds now, you know, you really wonder if they're gonna try to get back in battle for this dragon.
Yeah, it's up right about now.
It's an Infernal Drake, right? Yep. So I mean, even better. I mean, that's even more for Cassiopeia and everybody. This dragon is huge.
Oh man, Muffin Man, they are being
They can't
salty.
get
They've
this up
already
for free.
started it. There's
This is
two members already
desperation.
in the pit, but now with Tilted Forward, they come in from the flank. I don't know if they can
He
really
lands.
continue to
The
take this
teleport
down.
is
I saw the
coming
carry
in
They left
behind.
Sona carry in there.
in the pit. And
And
Dubdum
Dubdum steals it.
fights
Skarner
it
steals
away.
it.
Here we go.
Oh,
Emma
yeah,
called
that's
it
right.
shell over the wall.
Oh, it's a huge ult.
Complete mayhem breaks out. It's gonna be one dead on each side of the fight right now. Camera, he's still alive. He's still dealing damage to the backside. The arcade's just
What
on the
are
wall.
you
Thrifty's going huge.
Oh,
The
That
poison?
passive is about to be up.
oh, it's not gonna be enough though. Thrifty
Oh,
actually
the
gonna get
stun.
stunned up. They might go in back onto Thrifty, but Thrifty picks up
Oh.
the kill back onto
Thrifty
Mel.
went massive in that fight.
Yeah, jeez.
3 for 3.
All while this is happening though, Renai Circulation, he's teleportless. Picks up the tier 1 in the top lane,
And they didn't get that dragon either.
and he's
That's
going
a
for tier
huge
2.
win
Yeah.
for Tilted Forward.
They got so much out of that and didn't have to sacrifice the drag either.
Yeah, a very risky call there. I mean, they really, you just wanted to start the dragon and back off and maybe try to bait the enemy team to coming in, but...
I mean, they left Sona carrying the pit all by herself. At one point, it was just Sona carrying the pit, and then eventually Devout Milk walked back in and tried to finish the dragon. It was a complete utter shit show of a dragon fight. I mean...
Yeah, you know, at this point, if you're Muffin Man, I feel like you just give the dragon up. Because you still have you need your Fiora and your Ezreal to scale. I don't see them winning the straight 5v5 river fight. And they might have wanted to force the 5v4 because they knew circulation was top and had no teleport. Either way, it's a pretty risky move with the champions they have right now in the game. I mean, we're still not even at the 20-minute mark yet, just barely. But it's evolved into a 5k gold lead for Tilted Forward at this point. And they've just decided to group here in the mid lane, looking for another tower, forcing the advantage.
I think the epitome of that team fight was that we can think about that Zac went through Zillion ult and his passive and still died. I think pretty much that sums up that team fight.
Yeah.
So, if you're Muffin Men right now, what are you trying to do? Where do you stop the bleeding?
Well, they have a good enough wave clear mid. And with the support there, if Zona Carry actually just sticks in mid lane with Wang, I think they can actually repel a lot of these pushes. But I think you need Hellrick or Camera in a side lane right now. You need these gears to be farming. I think that they put Hellrick in the bot lane. I think that'd probably be the best move for them.
You're gonna need a hell of a Zac ult, elastic slingshot and Zac ults to get on top of Thrifty. I think if Thrifty lives, I think you just lose the fight every time.
Yeah, but Madam Stripe, he's actually a problem. He's a legitimate damage threat at this point. He has
definitely
completed into the BF start.
They're going for the dive.
Mammoth Ball is channeled very close to tower, but it's just gonna annihilate Devout Milk. No passive on the Zac there. It's gonna be an easy mid tower going over to Tilted Forward.
That's just them snowballing their lead right there. Skarner coming from the flank from around Raptors and snagged Fiora on the backside and the nice ult from Rat Circulation onto the Zac, and that was all she wrote.
Yep, and they can actually keep going. They used 4 of their ults, but they still have Thrifty with this ult right now. This is a tier 2 tower actually, right in the face of Muffin Man.
They have their front lane carries, or their whole entire front line died right there. They're both tanky, well, air quotes tanky frontline members died in a dive on their tier 1, and they can't walk up and try and defend that tier 2, so it goes down for free.
Now we have a quick rotation from Tilted Forward to the bot lane.
Yeah, Wave's just a little bit out. They have to try to meet it here. Zona Carry is just coming out from base. They see Hellrick going back into the top lane.
I don't like this from Hellrick. He needs to go back to his team. He doesn't have teleport.
Yeah, stun comes in, but Renai Circulation, he's going deep.
Wow,
he's gonna use the noise on himself.
The flash from Thrifty to get in there.
But he ulted himself, still ult comes in. But Madam Stripe, he's really deep. Madam Stripe! Stripe!
Where are you going? Where are you going, bro?
Oh, but you know, really, it's all part of the play because he trades his life. Auction tower's still up. W's taking tower. Develop Melt.
Hellrick's here.
Hellrick is here now. They can keep chasing.
They have to re-engage this.
The fight goes wide now. Hellrick's going in.
Oh no!
The Soundtra ult comes back up. That's how long this siege has been going on, and Hellrick
what a tragedy
goes down. Oh man, Thor, break that down for us.
Oh, Hellrick shows up and goes in with not really a lot of backup. If he would have had the Black Shield, it would have been a different story. But he mistimes the riposte, and now we have Camera walking to a bush against the mage, and
my goodness,
that's some tilt-worthy stuff right there.
Hashtag Diamond plays.
So, across that last fight, we had Stripe being somewhere he definitely should not have been. Sorry, Stripe, you're not in top lane anymore.
I didn't see it, but did he try to actually flash over the wall, but then failed it? Did he flash forward for the kill? I think he might have flashed forward for the kill.
He still has flash up, so I'm saying no, he didn't.
Wait, what the hell? How did he even get back? Oh,
he just
what are you doing, Sona? What are you doing, Sona?
I Sona carrying.
It's 300 gold, going over to 50 Senpai. 6-2-1 on this Cassiopeia.
That Black Shield ain't gonna save you.
Oh man. Tear the Goddess, he is 6 stacks away from that. Well, I guess he hasn't built it yet. Sarah's Embrace. But yeah, it's fully stacked when he does go back and buy it. This seems really bad for Muffin Man at this point.
Got the gold to finish the item, so yeah, no, this is Muffin Men are in dire straits right now.
I mean, if you're playing Thrifty next week, you're looking at this and going, Cassiopeia, man, because this is terrifying. He's been putting on a clinic after having 2 ganks against him, almost outplaying one and definitely outplaying the other. I think he is putting in work this game.
Oh, dumb. With Flash, looking for the engage there.
Feels bad, man.
A little too hypey against the Ezreal.
That's alright. They got the lead. They can make that. They can lose that Flash.
He was on top of him. He just didn't ult fast enough before the Arcane Shift came out.
Yeah. You know, I think it was last night I got beat up by the Cass in solo queue, and I rage banded immediately the next game. I mean,
and Dub dropping the "God, I hate diamonds" in chat. The salt levels are up there.
I guess that's just a friendly jab at Camera there, but
it's a friendly jab at Thrifty. He's pissed off.
That Dub not the star.
Yeah, probably it.
Yeah, but I guess
sometimes you just gotta trash talk your own team, you know?
Why not? A 7K goal lead here for Tilted Forward, entering the 25-minute mark. Hey, look at this, 4-man stack.
30. You didn't spend a season on the SS Booster friendship. It was nothing but shit talk.
Oh,
against your own teammates.
Yeah, an easy tier 1 take from mid there. Looks like Tilted Forward, they have other plans. They don't really care about the tier 1 mid at this point.
You see Hellreg using his TP and not... Hellreg used his TP and did not save the tier 2 bot tower.
Yeah.
The outplay. Good job, Renai Circulation. Take that claw.
Yeah, that would have been Hellreg coming back into the game if he was able to pick up that bounty. But
is that the play your team needs? You just TP bot to the bot tower. You didn't save it.
Yeah.
And you died 1v1 to the Lissandra. Now your team doesn't have teleport on the only person with teleport. That's a tough call to swallow right there. I think that was a really big misplay.
Yeah, that's a low percentage play.
Now we have Tilted Forward 2-manning Baron, but with Camera right
Camera
there.
Can get this.
Oh, that was close.
That was a nice try.
Close. Dubdrum with a steady smite finger. Picking up his team at Baron, and he already has 2 members in his top lane.
Camera's chasing him. Camera's chasing him. If he gets too close, Thrifty's around the corner.
Yeah. Oh, this is very odd. Ezreal is way behind enemy line, trying to zone out Thrifty and Dubdrum here.
And now he's gonna get collapsed on.
He's spotted out by the ward. Yeah, he's gonna have to run for his life here.
He's definitely caught out here.
Oh, Winter's Bite.
Dodges the Q.
He did not get tagged by it.
Oh man, he's gonna keep running back.
What is
enemy
this?
territory.
This is something you don't see very often.
The team members are calling it off. This is useless. Why are we chasing this Ezreal?
Interesting.
We have Baron buff. Just get the mid into him.
I like that call. You don't need to kill off the Ezreal.
If only we had the Benny Hills theme right there. That'd have been a lot funnier. That was definitely interesting. He was in between Thrifty and Dub and the rest of the team and had to run for his life right there, so...
Yeah. MF
nice.
Used just for damage there. Try to zone off the enemy team.
And Zach coming from behind.
Thrifty flashed out of it. Respect Flash, not trying to get locked up by the Zach there.
Oh, that
with
bind on
buff,
Renai Circulation kept him from taking that E. That was really, really good bind by Sona.
Nice, and yeah, easy mid tower take here, but Elf's gonna get locked up by the Stunner ult as he goes in now. Camera goes, tries to get out. Renai Circulation
by Renai
follows.
Circulation.
And
he
going back in.
He goes down.
Well, they picked up Renai Circulation on the back end of that, so they did lose Inhib and Camera, so it is a 1-for-1 and Inhib.
Small victories.
Yeah.
Small victories, very small, minuscule if you look at it that way.
Yep. I mean, trading kills when you're behind is always good, but I mean, you're right.
True.
You still
lost
lose the
your
inhibitor. Yeah.
This is a very small victory, but a victory indeed.
7-2-2 for an Renai Circulation. 6-2-2 for Thrifty. I mean, this is the draft said it all, right? I mean, you have these 2 damage threats in the top and mid. You have your 2 best players, and they snowball them.
Again, I wonder if this is something we're gonna see in the coming weeks out of these guys. I mean, you put Blab. This is their first one of the season. You put Blab on this carry in the top lane instead of his regular tank, you know, and it's going well for them. This dual threat, triple threat with Madame Strip. I mean, he's 2-1 and 6. He's been playing really well this game, you know.
Yeah.
You kind of wonder if this is a a kind of team comp strat they're going to be adapting for the rest of the season, and I can definitely see them doing this.
Yeah, and I don't think that was even in the script. It's like, oh, Madam Stripe, you just beat Cameron Lane, right? You just get ahead, blow out 3 damage strats. No, it was probably just like, oh yeah, Madam Stripe, farm it out. You'll get there someday. You know, like you'll get the items you need. Like,
maybe
no.
Madam Strip's the new diamond. Come on, give the guy some credit.
Playing very well this game. Aside from that one positioning mishap, I don't know what actually happened. How he got so far. But I feel like
that happens to every AD carry once a game, I think.
Yeah.
And to some 2 or 3 times a game. You know what I'm talking about.
But, yeah, now it's actually 10k gold here for Tilted Forward. They got the Baron buff going. They have super minions flooding in into the
they got Thrifty. They got the bind on Thrifty.
Oh, yeah.
Good, all out Thrifty gets 2.
Oh, man, he still takes out Cammer.
Totally in one swing
Madam
here.
Strip's still alive on the backside.
Oh, Meld has to go down. Passive's up, but it's not going to be enough. Zona Carry, Wang are the only members alive for Muffin Man.
That's the nail in the coffin right there.
Yeah, this appears to be the game.
Yeah, Vernai Circulation still went down on the backside there from the stray Zillion bomb.
That will be the game, and this is a huge boost for this
was a
team.
very convincing win.
We almost have an under 30-minute win here.
Yeah. This is great. First win of the season here for Tilted Forward. Coming out strong.
29:58 was the official time that the Nexus dropped. It's a dominant win, I would say, out of Tilted Forward.
Yeah. They got early leads in pretty much every lane, and they didn't slow it down. Very proactive, and they punished some early mistakes that Dragon Take. The first Dragon Take coming out of Tilted or out of Muffin Men, punished severely for that. Yeah, and just really good laning for all of their laners. Dub Jump still undefeated on the Skarner here. So yeah, no, this is the point of the cast where we have to bring in somebody to interview. What do you guys think here?
Before that, I have a question for you.
Go for it.
Without looking at the graphs, who do you think did the most damage on Tilted Forward?
Madam Stripe.
No, Thrifty Senpai, 100%.
Thrifty Senpai.
So we have Madam Stripe and Thrifty Senpai. Well, it was Madam Stripe at 21,916 damage.
Vernai Circulation actually came out on top in the damage charts over Thrifty Senpai. I would have never guessed that.
Well, I mean,
Madam Stripe
still they're all 20k plus damage? Oh my god.
Yeah. That is a huge increase from old numbers.
That was insane. And you know, you look at it, and Cameron still topped the damage charts for his team, but at 17,000, it just wasn't enough.
Yeah, especially on something so late scaling, and they were not able to get there in the slightest.
I would actually like to bring in Stripe into this. I think he definitely outperformed what anybody thought he was going to do in this lane.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, have we brought in two in the regular? I feel like Vernai.
We haven't.
I would really. Yeah, agreed.
I think we should bring both of them in here. This is the first win. Let's bring them both in. Vernai Circulation, Madam Stripe, if you're watching or listening, please come up here. You probably don't know the passwords. We don't have the movement privileges either. Zed, help somebody.
Help.
Tree. All right,
dragged. Was moved to your channel.
You've been dragged. Welcome, Madam Stripe and Blab to the Caster's booth. Congratulations on the win.
Oh, thank you.
Yep. So I mean, this is the first win of the season for you guys. Obviously, that must feel good. What, going from the last 2 weeks into this week, what was the team talk? What was the strategy? What was the game plan going into this?
Win. Now we just actually had a comp that we wanted to play this week, and we knew we had like picks that we knew we wanted to pick, and we just went with them instead of doing it all in the pre-draft lobby. We had picks that we knew we were going to take, and we were not going to veer from that, so we wouldn't just end up with a random team comp.
That kind of bit us last week.
Yeah, I definitely said this is probably the best draft for you guys so far. We really liked it. We really liked how you brought those two AP threats in top and mid, bringing you off a tank. Was that very purposeful, or is this just the matchups worked well?
Oh no, we definitely practiced it, having that extra carry threat, and I think it made a huge difference too. Like less like focus, I could just put straight up on Thrifty because everyone's doing damage now.
So, going into that, we had a lot of talk pre-game about your guys' team comps going forward. Something we had talked about was that the tanks in the top lane was seeming less and less your style. It wasn't working as well in game. It wasn't translating into any kind of a lead in the top lane and then coming out of the lane, impacting the other lanes. Is this something you guys talked about? Something you felt like you needed to be on something that would carry a little bit harder? How did that go about with the team?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I just touched on a little bit. I like playing the tanks, but really right now in the meta, unless you're playing Gnar, your tank is probably invalid. And so
Is that a call you made, or was that a call that somebody else made, that you guys needed to move into something a little more carry top lane?
I mean, I was kind of feeling I needed to be able to output more damage, but the team also said like, hey, what, we're looking at what we can change after, especially last week was pretty brutal.
It was kind of a mutual decision. Everyone kind of had the same opinion.
So.
Okay.
All right, moving over to you, Madam Stripe. How does it feel to win lane against the Diamond ADC?
It feels pretty good. It wasn't against their normal bot lane, which isn't near as much fun, but me and Kishot definitely had a lot better synergy that game than we've had previously. It probably helped a little bit that we did a flop of support and AD carry just to kind of play the opposite of each other last night, and it definitely helped our synergy out a lot, I felt, in the lane. So we could kind of get a feel for how the other person wants to play the lane.
Well, it definitely showed, because you actually put up the most damage on your team this game.
Only because that last ult.
It only hit 2 people.
Yeah, you got some very juicy MF ults in there. Is this something that you always played, or you just picked up recently due to her recent buff and potential of her, being an actually like an S tier ADC in the meta?
Oh no, I used to play her. She was one of my AD carries. I've always played MF, Ezreal, and Corki have always been like my 3 AD carries that I've liked to play. And then when Jinx was popular, she was my 4th one. So those have been like my 3 main AD carries, and then MF is back in the meta, so it was just kind of easy to pick back up.
We did play some practice games on it before it got buffed, but that definitely put it just over that top.
Yeah.
So.
Cool. I mean, it was a pretty clear-cut game. You guys were obviously more proactive than the last weeks, and you guys punished their mistakes really well. When was it actually in this game that you guys felt that you just had total control, totally in the driver's seat? Was it actually very early on in laning phase, or was it kind of after that like flopped dragon fight that the Muffin Men started?
It was that dragon fight where I got the really good MF ult going across like their entire team.
That's definitely where I first saw it, because I got the 2 towers top off that too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you weren't even there. Yeah, exactly.
It was a
You didn't have to
4v5
teleport.
that we ended up winning, so. Or going 3 for 3 in and getting 2 turrets.
What was the call? I mean, it felt like you guys got to the dragon pit a little bit late. Were you guys contemplating like a counter mid push? Were you guys gonna give up the dragon? You plan on fighting it all along? It seemed kind of like you guys were hesitating a little bit, even though they were already starting it.
Well, Dub definitely was going to go for the steal no matter what, because that's what he does. And I just got good positioning with MF, and that's all I was trying to set up. And once I could, I got the ult off. So that was kind of how that fight went. It wasn't something we were like, we have to go in for it, but Dub's obviously going to go in for a steal every time he can.
It does sound like Dub.
Yep. Well, I guess last question. Let's see what the season schedule has. So you guys are 1 and 2 in the standings right now. I know a lot of people I've talked to in the leagues this regular season, because we have this short season and sort of a modified playoff. Every team gets in, so you can actually look at all these games. It's kind of like scrims, but I mean, they matter a little bit just for seeding. Next week you're going up against Joey's top lane Emporium, sitting at 2-1, and then the next week, to forward against T-Dank 2. How do you guys, after the first win, how do you guys feel going into the latter half of the season and potentially later, into the later stages of playoffs?
Sounds like the easy half.
Yeah, you guys sorted out all the problems, right? The first 3 weeks, and now it's all uphill from here, right?
Yeah, now I can just insta-lock Riven and carry.
I saw you hovering, Riven. I was like, he better not.
I shouted Riven Jenkins in my team chat, but they didn't approve of it.
Alright. It's, yeah. Nothing else really to add. I've just started playing. Thrifty started playing again, and it's kind of starting to come back to us. Because we've both taken quite a big break. So, yeah, team practice has been going well.
Nice. Well, I mean, that does it for me or Sasquatch. Sorry, any other questions?
I believe I am good.
No, I think we covered everything pretty decently.
Cool. Well, yeah. Well, once again, congrats on the win here.
Way to go on the win.
No, we don't think that boosted top laner
I
here.
didn't even mean to do that.
Way to kick him while he's down.
Oh man, and just cut the stream.